Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Christian once again, back at it with another video. Before we get to today's video, make sure you hit the 4 buttons on your screen. A like would be nice. Be sure to comment, especially share, and why subscribe? Why? Because I make Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation news videos, including the prospect that we are getting a Nintendo Direct next week. So let's talk about that for a second. But first, I want to share my screen and I want to show you something. I was browsing the internet and I came across that picture and it brought me some, memories. So, share this. I hope you guys see this guy. Do you recognize this guy? Yeah, if you guys don't know who this guy is, I don't know what to tell you, but this is the great Desmond Amofa, aka Edika. And I saw a video on YouTube of people going to his mural, and this is his mural in New York City. And I was like, let me check out his mural on by Street Pass. I mean, not Street Pass, on the Google Street View map. And then I saw this, and it brought me to tears. I remember when he was still alive. And for those of you who don't know who this guy is, he's one of the greatest streamer, one of the greatest game YouTube streamers of all time. He actually inspires me to jump into streaming and posting videos. It took me a long time for me to actually take that leap of faith, but he inspires me with his humor and his banter. He was awesome. He was amazing. He passed away back in 2019. I remember when he did passed away. I was in the hospital and the news crushed me, really crushed my spirits. But yeah, this is Edika, and I will always miss him. Everybody will always miss him in the gaming community. He's, again, a great soul. So yeah, I just wanted to share this nice picture of him right there. Okay. So anyway, moving on. Um, I don't remember when he passed away. I think it was June 19, June 19, 2019. So it's been a long time. Um, I believe it's been like almost 8 years now. No, not 8 years, 7 years. It's been 7 years since he passed away. But yeah, anyway, rest in peace, Erica. Hope you are at peace where you are right now in heaven. Um, yeah. I will go to I will go there one day. When I go to New York one day, I'm gonna go there and put some flowers next to it. But so anyway, let's get back to today's video. So the Nintendo Direct is next week, and I want to say that I'm a little bit excited. Don't know if I'm excited or if I'm nervous at the same time. My schedule has been out of whack since I left my last position. And now with the Nintendo Direct coming very soon, a lot of people have said that it's coming next week. Nate the Hate came out in one of his podcasts and he says that it was coming the week after DK Bonanza comes out. It's been 2 weeks since DK Bonanza came out. Last week was when it came out. This week, the Pokemon Direct came out, and next week, the week that we are talking about, is the supposedly Nintendo Direct. And a lot of people are thinking it's going to be like on Tuesday or Thursday. Thursday is on the 1st, it's August 1st. So I'm thinking it's going to be Thursday. And my guess is that we're going to get more Nintendo Switch 2 news. And we're not going to get any Switch 1 games. Oh, They might talk about some Switch 1 games, but it will be more like in par with the Switch 2. So these Switch 1 games will have like a Switch 2 edition. So games like Tomodachi Life or Rhythm Heaven, the new Rhythm Heaven coming out, Metroid Prime 4, it's already announced to have a Switch 2 edition. Speaking of Metroid Prime 4, there has been news um on that game front that it has been rated. So let's take a look at this article here. Let's share my screen. So it has been rated. But Metroid Prime 4 Beyond rating spotted, fueling Nintendo Direct's hopes again. So it's been a long time since Metroid Prime 4 was announced. Like 2017, that's almost like 8 years. Yeah, it's 8 years. If I count my math correctly, yeah, it's 8 years. Eight, nine, yeah, 8 years. Not beyond comprehension. So this article is posted by from Nintendo Life by Alana Agis. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. So I'll read a little bit of that. Of all the Nintendo big release for the Switch 2, only two are missing the release dates. One of those being Metroid Prime 4, coming for both Switch 1 and Switch 2. The long-awaited entry in Retro Studios' acclaimed series. However, as rumors of a Nintendo Direct continue to build, a waiting for the game in South Korea, shared on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, has fans hopeful that the game isn't far off. Yay. Okay, so this is the rating right there. I don't read Korean or speak Korean, but you know who can speak Korean? AI.
Ew.
Look, I get it, okay? You guys don't like AI, but that's my channel and I can do whatever I want with my channel. So let's do that. Could you please translate this image? So I've copied the image from the news article and I'm going to hit translate. By the way, I'm currently learning Korean, so that's why my setup is like that. Okay, so here's the full translation of the image I provided. So the applicant, of course, Nintendo Korea Co Ltd, platform genre video game adventure, game content rating classification committee. That's the ESRB of the Korean, um, of Korea. Rated 12 and older. So I would say it's like rated E10, ages 10 and up. If it was if it was rated here in the US, that's what I think, like rated E10, age 10 and up, or it could be rated T. So either way will work. Reason for rating: a single-player adventure game where, after an incident in an abandoned research facility located in deep space, samusaran explores the ruins and uncovers the truth behind its twist. Did I just spoil the beginning of the game? Reason for rating: expression of moderate violence, depiction of attacks on living creatures using firearms and special weapons from a third-person perspective. Okay, I think it's going to be rated T because it says moderate violence and attack on living creature using firearms. I don't think the ESRB will want kids who are age 10 and up to play a game that has firearm. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the ESRB, but that's I'm pretty much guessing that if it was rated here in the US, it's going to be rated T. So best bet will be rated T, but rated E10, H10 and up, that's like mm, from what I'm reading, it's going to be rated T. It's not going to be rated E10 and up, but I don't know how like in Korea, I don't know what age is considered like the legal age for children to be exposed to violence like that, but because each country is different than the others, so I I'm just going to say it's going to be rated T, but this is what the rating in Korea looks like. Rated 12 and older. Yeah, it's definitely going to be rated T. See, violence, fear, language, my language, crime, weapon use, online interactivity, purchases available. Okay, we're on to something here, guys. So you see this online interactivity and purchases available. This means that we're going to have DLC. This game will have a DLC and it will have online content. So I'm guessing multiplayer content or things like that. I cannot wait for this Nintendo Direct coming next week. I would love to learn more about that game because there's still more that we don't know about. We know about the story, we know about the gameplay, we know about who is involved in that game, but we don't know much about more on the gameplay side of the game. So online interactivity and purchase available, this gives me some great hope for this game that it's going to be full of content. So I'm excited for this game. Anyway, let me quit ChatGPT here. Metroid Prime 4 has been a long time coming, so many fans are scrambling for any sliver of information they can get. As always, a rating doesn't mean anything, so try to keep your expectations in check. You guys know I always say this.
Don't get too excited.
Don't get too excited. Even though it's exciting, especially with what I've read just now, it's really exciting, but just don't get too excited. But as we mentioned above, the timing also lines up with those Nintendo Direct rumors with native hits, as I mentioned, reiterating that one is still coming this month, aka July, although August starts in on Thursday. Since then, since then, VGC has also said that reports of a direct match up with what the outlet has also heard. So with next week being the final week of July, will we see a direct and will Prime 4 Beyond get a release date? Of course he will get a release date. Why will Nintendo not give us a release date for that game? It's long overdue now. It is long overdue. So yeah, we are in for some exciting time, guys. For some exciting times. So that's one news here. So here's the following news reports that I have for you guys here. This is from Pure Xbox, and it says this: Xbox will apparently announce more PS5 and Switch 2 ports in the coming weeks.
What?
Yeah, so let's read this through. We are all well aware at this point that Microsoft is willing to take its full slate of games to all the platforms, basically going multi-platform, including PS5, and a fresh comment from the game business writer Chris Drake suggests that more announcements could be imminent. And in a post that breaks down the current state of the US games market with Circana's Matt Piscatella, Drake makes a somewhat throwaway comment about future Xbox ports announcements. The host hints that more multi-platform conversion are coming, even adding in the coming weeks, which certainly has our attention. Remember Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, right? On the Nintendo Direct, right? Coming next week. So, says it right here. Xbox is expected to announce more game ports to other platforms, including Nintendo Switch 2 and PS5 in the coming weeks. Now, we will say that this is just a quick comment from Drink and it's not a report or anything like that. Of course, not reports, just take it with a grain of salt. So do bear that in mind. It's most likely logical guesswork based on the connection in the industry and Microsoft's recent history, so the comment is worth taking with a pinch of salt. as per usual, like a truckload of salt. But then you have to remember what Nathan Hate said at one point. I think it was last year or this year when he mentioned that Halo Master Chief Collection was going to come to the Switch 2 and possibly the PS5. We already have Forza coming to um announced that was going multi-platform and also Gears of War announced for PlayStation 5. So yeah, he may say that we have to take it with a grain of salt. I say take it with a truckload of salt. Um, because how can I say it? Like we are already seeing Microsoft's going multi-platform, and um we've seen a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Um, evidence that it's actually happening. Like Forza Horizon coming to PS5, or actually got released on PS5, or Gears of War coming to PS5, and Halo coming to Switch 2, and all that stuff that we keep hearing about for Microsoft. And we also heard about Starfields. We also heard about Sea of Thieves. And people say out there saying, "Oh, take it with a grain of salt." Like usually, I would say take it with a grain of salt also, but at this point, Microsoft going multi-platform, it's like it's inevitable. I won't take it with a grain of salt. Usually, I would, but at this point, it's like why take it with a grain of salt? Just accept the um let's just accept the fate, Microsoft's fate, that it's definitely going multi-platform. I mean, exclusive, I'm always a huge fan of exclusive, but where what Microsoft has been doing, what PlayStation have been doing, instead of giving us more exclusive for their console, giving other people the idea of why their console will sell well better than the other, they are out there posting um games that are supposed to be exclusive onto other platform like Horizon. Lego Horizon, it's a Nintendo, I mean, not a Nintendo. It's a PlayStation original, but they decided to port it to Nintendo Switch. And even though it's like pretty exciting, it's like,
Well, that's stupid.
so what are we doing here? I mean, if people are saying let's take it with a grain of salt, why are we taking things with a grain of salt when it's already happening? Halo is going to happen. It's going to come to the Switch too. It's also going to come to the PlayStation 5. It's, I mean, we want exclusive, or actually I want exclusive. I don't know about you guys. Leave it in the comments if you want exclusive. But are they going to listen to us? No. They're all like,
We don't care, no, we don't care.
they don't care. They don't care what gamers want. They don't care what gamers get. Um, so actually they care about what gamers get, and it's like it's their games and the money that we are sending over to them. All money. They get all money, but they don't care about what we want. So anyway, I'm done ranting. Um, I think I could bring more news. I could talk about more news that we had this week, like the Pokemon Presents. I already made a post on that. I made a video on that. I personally think that it was not really necessary, although Nintendo, I mean the Pokemon company announced the Pokemon Presents Direct way in advance. So I won't like be too upset about their presentation not being too exciting. Although Dragonite, Mega Dragonite was exciting to look. The release date was exciting to hear again. But at the same time, the Pokemon Direct, I didn't really need it to film it or make a live reaction to it. But it is what it is. I'm excited for the Nintendo Direct next week. crossing our fingers that is actually happening next week. It's not some BS lies. Although it's coming from Nate the Hate because he says that it was going to come after Donkey Kong Bonanza released it. And but Donkey Kong Bonanza has already been released like almost 2 weeks now. I'm going to 2 weeks now. So and he says it was still going to be happening in July. So I guess it's going to be happening next week. So with that being said, I think I'm going to log off. Yeah, we didn't have much news to talk about. Oh yeah, I did forget one news. From Nintendo and the sales. From the Switch 2 sales. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this is from VG Charts. 2025 America sales comparison chart through June, comparing the Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox Series versus the Switch. So take a look at this number here. So the Switch 2 broke records at 1.9 million units sold, while the PS5 in 2022, when it was released, it sold up to 1.7 million. The Series X sold 2.15 million, and the Switch sold 2.5 million. So the Switch is still superior, but the Switch 2 has surpassed the PS5 on the year that it was released. I said the year it got released. So um the PS5 was released in 2020. So if I was to check the numbers for 2020, um so the PlayStation 5 first 2 months sales for PlayStation 5, it sold about, oh, that's shipped. It's not sold. Okay, so one Reddit post mentioned 3.4 million units in the first 4 weeks, but then again it says shipped. So I'm trying to find the number of like sales that he made. It's not really that accurate. When it tells me ships instead of sales. So, but 3 points. Let's assume that ships was also sold. 3.4 million. Compared to the Switch 2, which is 1.9, and Xbox Series, that doesn't count either. So, um. the number doesn't really match well, in my opinion, in my honest opinion. Somebody who knows how to read this chart will better understands what's going on here. But let's just look over at the 2025 numbers here. So the 2025 numbers, we see 1.9 million for Switch 2, 1.9 million for PS5, which is in the lead. 871,000 for the Xbox Series, 749,000 for the regular Switch. So comparing that number to back in 2023, there's no data for the Switch 2, but for PS5 and Xbox Series and the regular Switch, you can see that the Switches has gone down quite a lot, uh, negative 70%, and PS5 is negative 37%. The market share, um, it's pretty high for the Switch. It was high on in 2022 for the Switch. It had great game at that moment, at that year. In 2023, it was very high for PlayStation 5 and also high in 2024. And in 2025, as of the time of this recording, it is at 36.1% market share. So the PlayStation 5 is in a good spot right now, even though some of the games that it has, they're no longer exclusive because they are moving to Xbox or PCs. So, so looking at the lifetime for Switch 2, I think it's still early to tell because it came out like when 2 months ago, so it's not really like lifetime yet. I usually want to say lifetime. I usually want to look at the lifetime when it a console reaches end of its life, like the Switch, for instance. Lifetime, I would look at this as 56 million, so that's pretty good. PS5 and Xbox Series, I will look at the lifetime probably next year, when it goes into its ends of its life, you know what I mean? And then measure the lifetime, see who actually is the superior console in the generation. So yeah. Um, anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Not much news this week, but next week we'll get a lot of news, especially in the wake of the Switch. I was about to say Switch 2 Direct, but that has passed. The Nintendo Direct coming next week. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy this video. Sorry for um the lack of enthusiasm and all that stuff. I'm currently um I've been sleeping quite a lot, working a lot as well. So that's why I haven't been posting videos on a long-term basis regularly. So bear in mind, please like go easy on me. Uh, yeah, I understand what the life of the YouTuber, how hectic it is, like like making videos, prepping for videos, prepping for what kind of videos topic we're going to talk about. Kudos to you guys who are posting constant videos online. Kudos to you guys. I really admire your work, although you deserve to get paid more. You deserve to get paid more, but I do appreciate your work. Anyway, I'm gonna go. It's getting late. Make sure you hit the four buttons you see on my screen here, on my sides here. Uh, it's the next time, next week. Let's get it.